Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we are here today to talk about this showdown where it's about to go down. Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I know before we get into it, it's been about a week since I seen y'all. And before y'all hit me with the where you been, let me just tell you what had happened to me, all right? What had happened was, after the last review I did, I said, you know what, let me go get me something to eat. And then what had happened was I ate that food and that food kicked my ass. So, yeah, I was in a very serious man down, code 32, pimp in distress type of situation, all right? So I ate some bad food that took me down for about 2-3 days, right? Then, while I'm down, the people just start dying. Lord, the country music lady and the Kevin Samuels man just, and so I said, well, hold on a minute, Lord, what's going on in the world? Lord, please don't let this food take me out. Lord, please don't let this be my last supper. Is me and you all right, God? You know, I'm just trying to make sure me and you all right. And so, you know, that's where I've been. I've been on the sick and shut-in list. So here I am. Now, let's get into this review. Now, before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So this episode kicks off with Kimmy going to meet Destiny at her beauty supply store, Madani, which seems to only be open for filming. Well, Kimmy goes in and, you know, she's talking to Destiny about the beef between her and Mel. At this point, honestly, I wish everybody would just let it go. Like, all right, they don't like each other no more. Like, just let it go. But they ain't gonna do that because what would the storyline be if they did? So Kimmy's asking Destiny basically what's going on between her and Mel. And she's like, look, I don't know. I don't know what her issue is. All I know is what she told me, which was a bunch of made up stuff. First, it was, I was talking about her. And then once we clarified that you know that was not the truth, I was not talking about you, the issue became, well, it wasn't that you were talking about me, it's who you were talking to, my enemy. Kimmy says, you know, while me and her talked when we went to have lunch, and she brought that up, and Destiny said, okay, great. So what did she tell you I said? Kimmy didn't have an answer. Kimmy said, you know, I don't know. But, and this is where Kimmy lost me. Kimmy said, but your apology is acknowledgement that you were talking about her. Destiny says, but I never actually talked about her. And even she acknowledged that when she said in her own words, you didn't say anything about me. It's not that you were talking about me. It's who you were talking to, and you were talking to my enemy. And that's what Mel does. She moves the goalpost, period. You know, Kimmy is saying, well, I thought her and Tisha were in a better place. Did you think that? And she's saying, absolutely, I did. I think everybody thought that because didn't Mel say she decided on the stage during the reunion that Tisha was her enemy and then didn't communicate that to anybody but expected everybody to know? Oh, okay. And Kimmy, you know, decides, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to host an event to bring all the ladies together and we're going to try to repair this. Y'all is going to waste y'all time, y'all clothes, and y'all makeup, but just come on. So then we move on to seeing Marcel go visit Maurice to talk business. And he's talking about all the projects that he has going on or coming up, that he has been in talks to build a few hotels and an apartment building. And then he brings up the fact that Martell is looking to buy back into Scout. And, you know, Maurice is a little surprised by that. And Maurice kind of starts picking his brain to see where his head is at about that. Marceau feels like, you know, Martell is in a better position and a better headspace than he was a year or so ago when he said he would not do business with him while he was in this particular space, but he's still Martell. And so Maurice is asking him, you know, how do you plan to bring him into the business? And Marceau uses this opportunity to let us know him and Tisha been on. Because he said, well, the thing is, Martell probably is going to need to talk to Tisha because she's the majority shareholder. And she became the majority shareholder when she sold an apartment building that she owned since 2010 in order to buy him out. So I'm not the person he needs to talk to. Yeah, he told us a whole lot with that one statement. We been in this real estate game. The Holts are running around for the last few seasons stuff, but they put us on and they, gave us cars and money and made us. Well, we've been owning multi-unit buildings. Okay. So, yeah, Marceau wants y'all to put some respect on his name. And it comes down to really, he's not interested in letting Martell buy back into Skull. That's the real answer. And then Maurice brings up the most important part of all of this. When in the hell is Martell gonna get a license? Like, what's the point of bringing him into this business when he's essentially a liability because he's not licensed, which means he can't be bonded and insured, which means that any projects that he does with me, he's going to be under my license, my bonding, my insurance. It's all the risk is on me. So he gets whatever the reward is for him, but I'm carrying all the risk. That ain't how you do business. That ain't how you do business. If Marceau know like I know, you better listen to Maurice. Moving on. We move on to see Mel visiting her psychotherapist. I really like the therapist. She's a very nice lady. She seems to be good at her job. She knows what she's doing. Mel about drove me nuts. Something that trips me out, and it's more than just me, it's people. Something that trips me out is when your ego tells you that you are so good at manipulation that you can manipulate even the individuals who are trained to navigate your manipulation. It blows my mind. Something about the session gave, I know more than this counselor. So she and the counselor are talking about what she's doing to stay rooted and grounded and manage her boundaries. She responds by saying what she's done is removed the people that she calls energy vampires. So she's in the confessional saying how she doesn't know if all of the ladies are ready to be together. And then she's telling the counselor, she says, what I've learned about myself, Dominique, is that I can start off chill and open with just about anybody. But then when people become disrespectful and when they get mouthy, it turns up the heat for me. And when the heat gets turned up for me, it's difficult to turn down. So the counselor says to her, well, essentially what I hear you saying is that if I feel like a person is going to take me to a place that I don't want to go, then I basically avoid that person or situation, which is wise. And Mel is, grinning and And then the counselor says, but I would like to interject self-control. And you can see that is where the disconnect happened. Mel does not like to be held accountable. And so as soon as this counselor starts to tell her about self-control, and she hasn't told her that she's done anything wrong, she starts to reject the message. Well, she says, we're talking about going into situations, prioritizing your mental health, determining what you're going to give people, what kind of energy you're going to bring, what kind of energy you're going to participate in, and calculating the outcomes before we engage in certain interactions so that you can have some control over the outcome. It's not just a matter of you go into these situations and everybody attacks you. No, how do you manage yourself in these situations? And so Mel says, well, let's talk about that. And she goes into this whole 2022 speech that she keeps giving us that I'm real tired of. About, last year I was real kumbaya. My energy was very kumbaya and let's get everyone together. Let's work everything out. And the counselor said, yeah, so how did we get here? And she said, well, it's 2022. It's 2022 for everybody, baby. What's your point? Well, the 2022 melody is just a little bit different. Here we go with the bullshit. She gets in the confessional and she starts, I appreciate Dominique's advice as far as, me and maintaining my composure, but I also know it's going to be some immature people at Kimmy's event. You're right, because you're going. And it gives this air of, yeah, she sound good, but I know better. And sometimes people mistake my kindness for weakness, but I'm anything but weak. No, we don't think you're weak or you're kind. You have mistaken what people take you for. That's the mistake. We don't think you're weak or kind. And she goes on to try to justify her bull with, if people are going to keep making me a target, I'm going to start firing back. Like, let me tell you something. I have watched this show since season 1, episode 1. Mel has had targets on people's back from the beginning. Kimmy in season 1 was telling Mel that she was bougie and stuck up and she didn't know how to treat them as friends. That was since season 1. She has been after Tisha and Marcel's marriage since season 1 because she opted to come on TV and use her marriage as a source to catapult, because you decided to exploit your marriage in order to catapult into celebrity. You have decided everybody else's marriage has got to go too. No, ma'am. What's happening is she's coming out of her bag and she's showing us who she is. And she's trying to offer justification for it, like somebody started with her. No, ma'am. I saw you and I see you. So we move on. And fine ass Fred is back. Ciao. I know, y'all. Somebody that gave me the little tea on Fred in the comments a while back. But y'all know I like Fred. That man licensed to build stuff. I love it. So anyway, Martell is going to meet with Fred to talk about some business. He is showing him a property blueprint, it looks like. I don't know if Martell has designed this. I don't know if Martell is something Martell is selling or buying, but they're talking about going to closing. And Fred brings up, I'm glad to see you in a better space, and I'll be real glad to see when. And Martell said, what? What? When what? When I get my license? Yeah, though. When is you gonna get some paperwork? So Martell's like, everybody talking about Martell getting his license, and Fred pulls out the books. Fred said, look, I got the books. I got the tabs in them. The notes already marked. I got some index cards if you want them, damn it. I heard the test is open book. Martell, what is your issue? So Martell goes from saying, well, I'm going to get them, and even my assistant Mel Nika is pressing me to get my own license, to giving this whole speech about why he doesn't need to get a license. Because he's in relationship with people who have licenses. And that's when Fred tries to break down to him, hold on, player, this is a relationship. Just like any other relationship. So what are you going to do if we fall out today? And Martell's response is, well, the likelihood of that happening is very, very low. It took 12 years for me and my wife to fall out. And we know that the relationships between men are different from relationships between men and women. And we know that as men, we can often work through our differences, whereas it's much more difficult to work through those differences with a woman. So I don't need a license because you got one. Martell, get on your Uber app and tell them you would like to book a trip to hell. Because you got to go to hell. What are you talking about? Fred busted out laughing in this man's face. Fred laughed so hard in the man's face. Fred said, I'm sorry, I ain't laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. You ain't no damn body laughing with him. Because what is we laughing at? What in the Sesame Street hell are we laughing at? Reading Rainbow is still available if you need the help. Go to a Sylvan Center. Go somewhere and get you some damn help to read these damn books so that you can go take this open book test. You know how to get in an index and look up where to find the answer so you can get your goddamn license and get out our damn face. The warnings don't get no more clear than that. This made it very clear to me why Martell is over there in Marcel's face begging to buy back in the skull. You must know you are on the edge of the plank with Fred. Fred does say, yeah, I'm about done. I'm trying to be courteous. I'm trying to, how you drop somebody off and you make sure they get the door open before you pull off? I'm trying to make sure you can get in the door before I pull off, but I'm about done with your ass. At this point, what I think it is Martell gets off on the idea of using people. Martell doesn't want a license because it feels like more of a conquest to him. And rather than put this energy into becoming this level of individual and leveling up, you gonna stay down here and see if I can manipulate the people above me, because that makes him feel smarter. When I can play the people who are supposed to be smarter, people that have more credentials, people that have more experience, when I can play them with my lack of credentials, then I'm the man. Martell is a narcissist that travels to all of his relationships. That doesn't stay in just his marital or his romantic relationships. That is in every relationship that he is in. This is a hooked on phonics ass mess. Martell, if you could please take your ass on up out Fred's face. He got things to do, okay? He got a license, all right? Got contracts and things he got to work on. He made a little small talk with him, all how the kids in the book and where your head at and all. And Martell stopped with that. It's a new year. And I swear, you and Mel need to get back together, because y'all running around here with this new year bullshit. But this is why y'all fool. Ain't nobody got time. Fred said, okay, it's a new year. All right, good. All right, happy for you. The kids doing all right. The book doing good. All right, man, I'll see you later. Make sure you get your jacket. Don't leave it in here. Don't come back, because little do you know, we about done. We moving on just like Fred about to move on. So then we move on to this Valentine's Day massacre. Child, we get to the Galentine's event. Kimmy, of course, is hosting, and Tiffany is the first to arrive. So Tiffany is going to play bartender, and Tiffany and Kimmy are just chatting about what's to be expected of the night, and Kimmy is thinking, maybe I should have gotten a bouncer. Maybe you're right. As they're talking, Tisha shows up in her team wife shirt, her latex bubblegum pink pants, and her pink, black, and white Jordans. Tisha came for an after school meeting, all right? Tisha got on her sweatshirt and her sneakers and her hair in a ponytail. And it's probably a drawstring ponytail, so that bitch will snatch right off of somebody. Oh, don't you ever try me. Yeah, Tisha might be TTG. Y'all want to leave her alone. She trained to go. Tisha said, I wore my sneakers so I could be comfortable. And I wore my team wife shirt because we're representing love. No, you wore your sneakers so you could be comfortable if we fight. And I wore my team wife shirt so I could stunt on these divorced if we fight. Like, say the unspoken part, because you came dressed for the if we fight part. That's what you came dressed for. So being that Tisha showed up dressed like Street Fighter Barbie, Kimmy, has a preliminary conversation with her to say, listen, we're not doing that. We're not going to be fighting and carrying on. And while we're at it, let's talk about trigger words. We're not going to start off with girl. And Tisha's like, oh, that's disrespectful. Tisha said, well, can I say bitch? I don't know. Tisha took me out the way she said it. Kimmy said, no. No, you can't. But Kimmy, you probably should have waited until everyone arrived to have this conversation. So Mel and Stormy finally arrive late, and they come in and, give their greetings to Kimmy. And in the confessional, Mel is talking about how, I'm excited, and the energy from Kimmy and Tiffany is on point. But Tisha didn't even speak when I came in the room. Mel is full of it. Mel is absolutely full of it, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, I'm going to tell you, her ass has been taught that when you enter a room and people are already in that room, you need to greet the people that are already in that room. I don't know who has told her she is the Grand Duchess that is going to change everything and everybody is supposed to bow when she enters. That's not how this works. And I'm going to tell you, she's also full of shit. Because later on, when Destiny showed up even later, she wouldn't acknowledge her when she came in the room. So now people are supposed to dismiss your bad manners, your poor etiquette, and they're supposed to greet you when you don't greet them when you enter a room that people are already in. But then those same rules don't apply to you when other people walk into a room that you're already in. You're gonna have to book a first-class trip to hell. So Destiny comes in, and like I said, Mel sits there eating her food and won't speak to Destiny. So Destiny sits down, and Kimmy starts to explain what Galentine's Day is. And it's the Valentine's Day where we celebrate our girlfriends. We know. Let's just get on to this fight. So Kimmy starts the conversation off by saying that as a collective, their group is fractured and she's not sure if it's fixable, if they want to fix it, or if, but we'll attempt to have some sort of dialogue to see if we can get to some form of resolution. So they start this night off by playing this game about write one truth about yourself and then one misconception about yourself. Oh, God, here we go. This card she pulls is Destiny's, which is I am a visionary and a dreamer. I love supporting people and the underdog. And the misconception is that I'm aggressive. And Kimmy is all the way in her messy bag at this point. Oh, you think that's a misconception? And she said, yes, ma'am, I do. And Kimmy is making faces. Let me tell you, Kimmy, I was not feeling Kimmy at this dinner. And Destiny says, yes, I do feel like that's a misconception because I know where I started from. And I know that I've done a lot of work on myself, and I know that I am not aggressive by my definition. And, let me tell you something I do not like the word aggressive being thrown around for a Black woman who stands up for herself. Because I've not seen Destiny now, and I dislike Destiny. Destiny was my Tiffany when she first came on. I could not stand Destiny. What I will not sit up here and say is she's aggressive and she's angry because she don't let you talk to her, because she don't let you run over her, because she calls you out for being a bad friend, because she says what she needs to say and doesn't play games and doesn't pretend to be nice for acceptability and respectability politics. Like, I'm not buying it. And it pisses me off that it's a group of Black women that are pushing this. Like, stop. Y'all literally poke this girl and then call her aggressive when she reacts. Now, Tiffany wasn't aggressive last season when she came on the scene starting shit with people she didn't even know, talking about people's children, talking about people's marriages. She wasn't called aggressive for that. But Destiny is aggressive because she stands up for herself. All y'all can go to hell. Aggressive is a trigger word and y'all know it. Y'all know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're saying. You know exactly what message you're putting out. And I'm not about to play like I don't hear it. I'm not about to play like y'all ain't blowing a dog whistle to call her an angry Black woman. So while Kimmy tries to start this BS conversation about, I appreciate y'all playing my game, and sometimes the misconceptions about us become stumbling blocks in our own relationships with each other, Tisha cut this short. I ain't come here for that. Look here. Tisha said, I'm going to pause you real quick. You finish this book after I get this off my chest. Tisha said, I heard that there was a gathering and I was the top of the conversation. I heard y'all was looking for me and here I go. I said, oh, shit, this might kind of carrying on. Tisha said, I heard there was a lot being said behind my back. And I'm right here. So since everybody has so much to say, you can say it to my face. And and Mel and Stormy are sitting there looking real quiet. No. Where is the Christmas enthusiasm? Where is all the curiosity that y'all had about her marriage at this party? I mean, here's the horse. Let's get it from her mouth. And so Mel gets in the confessional. Oh, Tisha Scott, you can tell me to my face because I'm here right now. She turned real hood real quick. She sure did. I don't know where that came from. Girl, let me tell you something. You can cut the bullshit with trying to shade people for being hood or ghetto. Like, you and your mama can go to hell with that. Yeah, some of us are hood. Some of us, regardless of all of the education and accomplishment and the fine-tuning, at the root, we is hood. And we will whoop your ass, okay? We need to make that clear to you so that we don't have to whoop your ass, okay? Because if I got to whoop your ass, the law is coming, all right? And I ain't going to jail. So before I have to go through all these hoops I'm going through to make the law understand I ain't going to jail because I had to serve you a justified ass whooping, I might need to let you know that I am capable and willing to serve you this ass whooping. That's where it came from. It came from the root of the hood in me. Now, baby, if you ain't got them kind of roots, don't come shaking this tree because you can't handle the fruit that's going to fall from it. Get your ass on out my face. I have a fine palate. I love nice things. But baby, I can go to the hole in the wall and be as comfortable as I am at a 5-star establishment. Do you understand me? I am good in the hood. I mean, from the crack house to the White House. That is the beauty of being from the hood. So while you trying to shame people like you so much better with your country apple ass, well, I have seen videos of this same girl in the 2010s and 20s dancing in establishments with no shoes on, with your country ass. And you talking about hood? Girl. She does not know how to be accountable. And what she does is she starts asking a bunch of questions. So, who told you? Rather than just, because, bitch, you was bad a couple episodes ago. You was bad in the confessional. So why all of a sudden are they, well, who told you that someone was talking about you at my party? We watched it. So why, what you're trying to find out is how much do you know? Let me find out exactly what you've been told so that I can mount my defense once I figure out the angle you coming from. Well, who did you hear was saying something about you? Tisha said, well, I heard you. I heard you had a lot to say about me and my husband. What did I say about your husband? She said, I talked to Kiki. She told me she was at your party and you were trying to get her to say things about me and my husband. So Mel starts that dumbass looking around. So Kiki told you that I was trying to get her to say stuff about you and your husband? Yeah. So then she pulls this Tasha K move where she gonna grab her phone. Now I'm gonna call Kiki. Girl, call on the Lord because you need help. So she calls Kiki and says, hey, yeah, I'm sitting with Tisha right now and she's mentioning something about her name was being repeatedly brought up at my party and that she was told that by you. It blew my mind that this girl literally sat here and called this girl like what Tisha's telling her is a lie. It blew my mind. And Tisha says to Kiki, listen, you on speakerphone, so please be honest. And Kiki, well, I don't know why you would expect anything less. Now, here's my thing, Kiki. This is why you dumb some more. If you know, one, you and this girl ain't had no real friendship. You got invited to a party when her and your cousin fell out, and you were invited to spill your cousin's tea. Now, after you done talk about your cousin like a dog, and she's in your cousin's presence, she literally calls you to put all the onus on you, to use you as a scapegoat, and to make you look like a liar when she knows she is caught dead to right. Because she cannot ever face her own music. What she does is deflects to other people. That's just what she does. So here comes Stormy. Stormy makes me sick. Here comes Stormy piping in. But she was the one who stood up and had a bunch to say about Tisha. And you could see her every time Mel is talking. And she in the background rolling her eyes and making faces. Why are you here? So Kiki says, your name came up. No, I wasn't just sitting around talking about you. And Mel said, nobody was. And so Kiki says, Stormy was the one who brought up your name. And we all had this discussion. So while you sitting over there, bad piper, doing all this piping up, why wouldn't you open your mouth to say, hey, well, actually what happened was I'm a fan of the show. And I was curious about everything I saw last season. So I was actually getting in everybody's business. I was asking a bunch of questions and crossing a bunch of boundaries. And so that's really how the conversation got started. Why wouldn't you say that with your Billy badass? Everybody always bad till it's time to really be like, girl, let me tell you something. And maybe this is just something my mama got in me. My mama said, let me tell you something. If you bad enough to do it, you better be bad enough to say you did it. Now, if you gonna be running around here lying and doing, you ain't bad enough to do it. Sit your ass down somewhere. You was bad enough to be in everybody's business and tell people to mind their business about you being in everybody's business. But now you sitting there just when they trying to figure out how this girl name came up. So Kimmy says to Kiki, listen, I feel like, she said, I'm going to help you out. You had more than your fair share to say, and I said to you then that if you felt like you felt, you needed to pick up the phone and call Tisha rather than us having a conversation about Tisha and Melody's kitchen. And then Kiki goes on to say, well, I didn't say anything that wasn't true. And Kimmy says, well, to say, well, I didn't say anything that's not true is not the same as I didn't say anything. So now you have Kimmy arguing about what Kiki's position was. You got Mel sitting back watching everybody argue amongst themselves because it got the heat off her. And Stormy is sitting there waiting for her command to sick. After they got off the phone with Kiki, Mel says, well, I will say to Letitia that, the conversation came up because the picture that your husband posted came up, but nobody was caring about sitting around talking about you. And Tisha said, oh, okay, I'm just letting you know. On the other side of this boundary is that shows up in sweatshirts and latex leggings with sneakers on, ready to drag you. Just fair warning. Then Stormy's ignorant ass pops up about, well, I feel like the only reason your name was mentioned at Al was because of your cousin. Tisha shut that down. She said, well, here's the interesting thing. It's interesting that my cousin was there at all, and I wasn't there. Because my cousin has never been invited to any of her events. And all of a sudden, my cousin is at this party that I'm not invited to, and I'm the topic of conversation. You make it make sense. And so even Mel had to acknowledge that, no, I don't have a real friendship with Kiki. She said, no, we don't talk every day. And then as she realized what she was getting ready to explain, she tried to clean it up. I don't talk to anybody every day. No. This girl ain't your friend. You've been exposed for your plot. Tisha said, but were y'all friends? Did y'all hang out? Did she come to your house? Did y'all have a relationship? So then Mel tries to, well, I've actually known Kiki. Actually, I knew her before I met you. And Tisha said, that's fine. You can meet people and know of people, but did you have a relationship with her? Because you and I had a friendship. We had a relationship, and you didn't have one with my cousin. I know, because that was my cousin all my life. And you've been my friend all this time. And I know there was never a relationship there. Mel starts trying to tell her, you can't have an issue with me being friends with her. She said, no, what I have an issue with is you having a whole conversation about me when I'm not there to defend myself. That's the issue. And so Mel starts deflecting again. So you mad at all of us because everybody was talking about the picture. Tisha said, no, you, Melody, you. I'm mad at you. So then Destiny jumps in to basically try to prove to Mel how her point makes absolutely no sense. So she says, well, Kimmy, you told me that you asked where was Destiny at this event. And you were told that everybody that she wanted there was there. Everybody she wanted around her for the new year was there. And that's why I wasn't invited. So she says, okay, so if that's the case, and the reason that I was not invited, the reason that our friendship was canceled is because I was talking to Tisha, and Tisha is your op. And Tisha shuts the conversation down. Tisha said, hold on, what the hell is an op? Let me tell you something. Tisha knows exactly what an op is. The point Tisha is trying to make is explain to me how I became her op. Because if we're talking about what an op is, make it make sense as to how I fit into that. If an op is, as Kimmy explained it, a military term for opposition, it's your opponent. How did I become her opponent? How did I become the op? That's what Tisha, and so here's Mel. Well, wasn't I talking to Destiny? Are we talking about me and Destiny, or are we talking, because Tisha's jumping in. Destiny said, basically what the point is you don't want to deal with me because I was talking to her who is supposedly your ops, but you could invite her cousin to your house. How does that work? And she goes, well, she wasn't talking bad about me to Tisha. Here we go. Destiny said, well, who was talking bad about you to Tisha? Please tell me what I said. So when Destiny starts harping on the, what did I say? And Mel is getting caught in her bull. And Tisha says, well, what you're saying is not fair. Here goes Mel. Well, bitch, I ain't even talking to you. I'm fresh out of Sick and Shut In. I felt every bit of ass whooping activate in my spirit. And that bitch came flying across the table. Oh, shit. It just, oh my God. What is wrong with you? Because you talk about somebody going hood. So Tisha jumps up and says, well, first of all, I'm not going to be your bitch. And Mel jumps up. Here, Stormy jumps up. Destiny jumps up. Now, Kimmy jumps in. No. And she is over, talking to Mel about, you can't call people out of their names. That's not okay. And so Mel goes, well, she's trying to start a fight. And that's what you get for bringing me into places where people I don't deal with. No, you need to stay your immature ass home. And then Kimmy lost me when she called herself trying to make peace. And she's trying to make Tisha as wrong as Mel. But, everybody can be riled up at this calling people out their name, calling people girl. The whole, girl, that's one thing. But to call me a bitch, you've lost your natural mind. And for Kimmy to make it about, well, calling people girl is like the same thing as calling people bitch. No. What it is, Kimmy has an issue with Destiny, and Kimmy also has an unresolved issue with Tisha. Then Mel gets an attitude with Kimmy because Kimmy is talking about them having to have a respectful conversation. Well, where was all that when she was saying girl? Why you ain't jump up then? So Kimmy had to tell her, listen, we had a whole conversation before you showed up. So in comes Stormy about, can I ask a question? And she literally starts trying to pick a fight with Destiny. So you were saying the op. Why was you saying that? Destiny said that's her word. And she's asked Tisha, so you the op. She said, I don't know. And so what happened? Destiny said, ask her. But I'm asking you. So Destiny said, I just love her from a distance. Why? She said, because that's what she chose. Well, why you say that? Like, you can see her just trying to pick a fight. This was probably one of the most uncomfortable scenes I have ever watched. Like, I don't care what this girl has accomplished. I don't care how much money she has. The love of money is the root of all evil. Money and blessed ain't the same thing. Because you got a bunch of money don't mean that you're in the favor or the will of God. So I don't care about how much money a person has. How she conducts herself tells me everything I need to know about the character, the class, the spirit of this person. After Stormy pipes up with her whole, she's never said anything negative about me to y'all. That's just real talk. Mel says, when me and Destiny had a private conversation, I thought that Destiny asked everything that you wanted to ask, but maybe not. So I'll go over it again in terms of why I'm in the place I'm in and, what happened with the friendship that we had. And Destiny said, had. Oh, okay. And Kimmy pipes up with this fake-ass Iyanla moment, but not on my watch. No, not while I'm the moderator and the mediator. You won't do that. Who you talking to? So Destiny's like, what do you mean? She said had, and I reiterated but you're not going to do that while I'm the moderator. Kimmy, please. When Destiny said, all I did was reiterated what she said. And then when Destiny gives her the side eye, she says, and you're being aggressive with me and I didn't even do anything. How is what she did aggressive, but y'all ain't never called Stormy aggressive for the bullshit she did at this table? How? How is Tisha hood and Stormy ain't? How is Tisha wrong and ghetto and everything else for calling people girl, but we ain't called Mel hood yet for calling her a bitch? How? I've watched this for 4 seasons. And I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out where is your deciding factor in terms of how you are determining who's aggressive and who's not. We saw Mel get in Tisha's face at the reunion and put her finger in her face. We saw her call her an unsolicited bitch. But you haven't called her aggressive yet. And you take this opportunity when Destiny cuts her eyes to call her aggressive. Please go to hell. And so Destiny says, you know what? Go ahead, Melody. Kimmy, you're right. Here comes Stormy. I definitely wouldn't go after that. Kimmy didn't open her mouth. Now, you just went off on this girl about what ain't gonna happen while you the mediator at the table. I wouldn't go after that. That ain't aggressive. Destiny says, but you're not Melody. So we're not worried about whether you want to go after that. Yeah, I'm not. But don't be talking to people like that. That's crazy. Don't be talking to people like that. Destiny said, go ahead, Melody. For sure. But who want to hear that? Who want to talk after that? So they go back and forth. That's what's up. When Destiny starts mocking Stormy by saying, yeah, that what's up. Yeah, you won't be like me. You won't be me. I feel that. If I was you, I want to be me too. I want to be me. Yeah, I feel that. Girl, I don't know how to break this to you. But regardless of how much money you have, I have yet to come across anyone that wants to be you. And you know what this is actually? This is a girl who feels like she does not fit in with this group of women. And she's acting out. This is, I don't feel like I fit. I don't feel accepted or respected. And so I'm going to get that by a means of aggression. Because this was absolutely aggressive. And the fact that nobody called it out after y'all sat up and called Destiny aggressive and Tisha hood tells me everything I need to know about the character of these women. So as they're going back and forth, here comes Stormy. Destiny, you won't do that with me. Destiny said, girl, you don't want to do that with me. Let me tell you something. When somebody is going through stuff, the worst thing you can do is challenge them to a duel. Stormy, your money ain't gonna take the swelling down when she whoop your ass. And this is how you know that she thinks her money makes her and you have no substance within yourself. She says, when Destiny said, look, you don't know me, sis. She's jumping up. You ain't got enough to be coming at me. You ain't got enough to be coming at me. This ain't bully with the bucks. That's not the game we playing. This is called foot in the ass. That's the game we playing. She's gonna put foot to your ass, okay? So the episode ends with a to be continued where they getting ready to go to absolute blows. Child, this episode was absolutely stressful. It just brought all of the street fight in me to the surface. I was quite triggered and had to do a lot of work to calm down. I don't know how else to wrap this up. That's it. That's all. I ain't got no more. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, as always, thank you for listening and letting me get this off my chest because, child, this was one. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. In the meantime, until next time, I love you, mean it. Bye.